Rest in peace. Gage mewed into Remy's ear, his little voice a mixture of frustration and fear. Gage very much did not like flying. He liked flying over the beach waves even less. His claws dug into the small pouch on Remy's back as she flew as low to the waves as she dared, skimming through the mist and dodging the spray. It was a daring way to practice flight, since too much water on her wings would ground her spectacularly. She hadn't crashed since taking on her feline passenger, though. If Gage held a grudge when he was a normal cat, now that he had been through the advancement, his annoyance would be worse. "I'm not sure this was a good idea," Rook said. He wasn't swimming. Instead, he lounged beside the fire pit to tend to their lunch. "I mean, this detour isn't the quickest way to hide." Remy landed just along the surf, letting the feeble echoes of one last wave splash her. It didn't get up past her waist, though Gage hissed and tightened his grip on her anyway. She strode up to the fire, pulling up a seat on a length of driftwood. "Just think of it as an investment in our mental health." Remy pointed at Nightingale. The girl was floating on her back in the water not too far away. She was smiling, obviously feeling a bit better. Remy fumbled around in the pack next to the grill until she came across a bottle of Patrick's microbrew. She offered the neck of the bottle towards Zeke, where he sat across the crackling bonfire. "Open me?" "Sure." Zeke pulled a novelty dagger from his belt and turned it to reveal a bottle opener on the hilt. With a flick of his wrist, the top came off, sending the cap spinning off into the sand. The bottle bubbled and frothed, but Remy pulled it close and caught most of it in her mouth. "Where did you get that?" Patrick sat on the bare sand a few feet away, staring out at the surf. Zeke looked proud as he returned the blade to its sheath. "Got it from Romstead before we left. Found a shop that sold all sorts of gear with bottle openers on them." Patrick's expression broke into a smile. "Nice. Toss me one." He caught the bottle a second later, popping the cap with a pocket knife. Patrick didn't drink it, instead tilting it sideways into the sand next to him. "Sorry, Aisling. This one's for you." Nobody protested. Nightingale was the last to make her way out of the water, and she was still dripping as she took a seat beside Remy. "I'm glad we did this," Nightingale proclaimed, picking at her new swimsuit she'd gotten from the market before they left. Then she propped her feet up on the rocks just beside their bonfire. "The water here is way warmer than Seattle. It's a lot clearer, too." "I kind of miss the foghorns," Rook muttered, passing Nightingale the first plate. Remy's eyes trailed it, and she could hear Gage's stomach gurgling a little. "Like if you were out near the bay at night and there wasn't much traffic," Rook trailed off. Remy raised her eyebrows. "Where were you that there wasn't much traffic?" Rook just smiled in response and pulled out the next of the steaming kebabs. "So wait, you're all from Seattle?" Patrick asked. "I guess the Alinea portal connects to Washington, doesn't it?" Remy nodded as she grabbed 2 sets of kebabs, laying one on a plate for Gage and digging into the other. "Yep, born and raised. Nothing like this beach there, though." The warm sun felt good, and they were able to forget about some of the horrors they witnessed, if only for a moment.